Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Crowd Chatter Podcast. And today we're gonna go over the MLB. It's time for the National League. We are pretty much through the first month of the year. I guess technically like month and a half because you got to throw March in there because you had like I don't know 6 games in March. I was gonna do this a little bit later than actually I'm doing what I'm doing right now, which is on the 1st of May. I normally do like the Monday or Tuesday or whatever, but since it was the actual first day of the month and I was able to do it, I figured, what the heck, why not? Why don't I get the video in while nobody has actually played in the new month? And I'll go over it. I'll go over the season. I'll go over things for everybody and go from there. And so we'll start in the NL East and start with the Atlanta Braves, which I'm not surprised. I'm not really honestly surprised by this one necessarily. 22-10. I believe this is actually the best record in baseball, unless the Dodgers have better than them. But I think this is the best in baseball currently. Um, they've been dynamite. I mean, you look at these numbers here. Yeah, they've been lethal. And I mean, realistically, this team has dealt with injuries upon injuries for years and years and years. I mean, the past few years they've been just ravaged by the injury bug, especially last year. Last year was a total injury disaster. But now this year, you're also a healthy-ish start. I mean, getting Spencer Strider back, I believe it's Sunday. They're getting other pitchers back as well. Chris Sale continues to pitch well for them. So, I mean, this is a very good Atlanta team. We all know this. I don't think anyone doubted that the Braves are good. I think the question was, how healthy will they be? And when they get healthy, how good will they be? But now finally healthy, finally mostly healthy. Ronald Acuna's back. You got Strider coming back. I mean, Austin Riley is in, even if he has been sucking lately. Dude, please be better. I need you. I have fantasy baseball. I drafted him. Um, but for the Braves, I mean, this has been a very good start. And if you're a Brave fan, I mean, this is very encouraging after last year, which was kind of just a lost season. And having this start is very encouraging for ATL. Then we had the Miami Marlins at 15-16. This is a middling team. Um, they've actually been decent to start the season. I mean, they have some young talent, obviously. I don't think this team's going to be looking to compete. So more than likely, I mean, Sandy Alcantara's had a bit more of a renaissance year. He's been more like himself, and obviously that was a big time trade candidate for the Marlins. We'll see how the season continues to go. I mean, sitting at 500 isn't a bad spot to be in, but for the Marlins, I mean, you know, you're off to a decent start. See if you can get it going, a little bit more. Maybe you can get above 500 and, go from there. But this is a young team that has a lot of young guys and is looking to, move up in the world. And then you have the Washington Nationals at 15-17. They have probably one of the weirdest home and road splits I've ever seen, actually. Um, I thought about the Tigers, who were 10-2 in the last. I did the American League before this one, but look at this. Like, how I have never seen that bad of a home road disparity. 3-10 at Nationals Park, actually insane. And then 12-7 on the road, which just that doesn't make sense. But um, they've had a lot of offense this year. Pitching staff has been a little rough for them, but this is a very good Washington team. Or I'm sorry, this is a decent Washington team. It's a young team. James Wood has been a sensation for them to start the year, but they got young guys. They're in a similar position to the Marlins. They're looking to kind of move up in the world, not be the bottom feeders of this division anymore. Try and get going more and more. I mean, like I said, just barely below 500. Definitely not a bad spot to be in. If I'm a Nationals fan, I'd be, decently content with where I'm at right now. Which is something I can't really say for the other two teams I'm about to go over, as these are very possibly not other than the Boston Red Sox, who I mentioned earlier, last video. I know you're probably watching this one before the last one. You have no idea what I'm talking about. I did the American League before I did the National League, before I did this National League video. But I talked about this in the other video. Uh, Other than the Boston Red Sox, these two are easily the biggest disappointments of this year. And that is the Philadelphia Phillies. So let's start with them at 12 and 19. Absolutely brutal start for them. Offense has very much lagged. The pitching staff hasn't been good. Uh, I, is Rob Man? It's Rob Thompson, I believe. Manfred's the commissioner. The manager for the Phillies, who like I said, with Boston, they fired theirs as well. Manager is the same thing as the coach. Rob Thompson is long gone. He's been fired for the Phillies. They fired the manager, which is a crazy move to do this early in the year. But the Phillies have been disastrous so far to start this season, much like the Boston Red Sox, who also got rid of Alex Cora. Um, but for the Phillies, man, just wow. I don't think anyone really expected this. It was a lot worse because they've won their last three. I think they swept a series with the Giants, which I mean they was won their last three. So mind you, they were 9 and 19. So this team was looking really bad. They got a nice series sweep against the Giants, who have been pretty brutal. So that helps. But this has been a very rough start for the Phillies, who are a World Series contender. I mean, this is a team that wants to get to the World Series, and this is how they're doing so far. So, not what you want to see. And then last is another major league disappointment for this year. The New York Mets, who actually own the worst record in baseball at 10 and 21. I can't say how many things have just gone wrong for them. Uh, the offense has arguably been the worst in baseball. Pitching staff hasn't been as atrocious, but it's actually been reasonable. But the offense has been totally non-existent. Um, and with us all the talent that they have, the Han Soto, Bo Bichette. I mean, they lost Pete Alonso, but Bo Bichette and Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor and and prospects and Alvarez and just you keep naming the list. Marcus, even Simeon, he's getting a little old now, but all these names and Devin Williams and all this stuff and 10 and 21. Unlike the Phillies and the Red Sox, Carlos Mendoza has not been fired as a manager yet, and supposedly there are no plans to do that. I'm not buying that one. I think that's just more or less we're not going to do that right now. And we're not going to do that right now. Basically, saying because they're not going to just straight up and be like, like people asking, like, you going to fire him? And that's like, yeah, like they're not going to do that. So yeah, they can say that right now, but they're gonna say that, when they're, I don't know, 20 and 40 in the next, borderline 30 games. Like I don't know. So we'll see, but this is a horrendous start for the New York Mets, and I'm sure they're not excited about it and very unhappy with how this has gone so far. And now we go to the NL Central, which has had a very surprising start with really just how good it's been. The Cincinnati Reds start off this division at 20 and 11. Actually, a minus run differential, which is kind of crazy to be a -3 run differential and be at 20 and 11. So they've been very good. And this is a Reds team that they got to the wild card last year in the National League. They snuck in, faced the Dodgers, and got absolutely pummeled. They're missing a couple pitchers right now as well, but it hasn't really seemed to matter. Pitching staff's been good. The offense has, not been overly totally imposing so far, but 20-11, very good start for the Reds. This is a young team. You got quite a few young guys over there, and a lot of them are producing. I mean, you got guys like Ellie De La Cruz, of course, which is a very nice one to have. You have elite defense and third baseman Cabrian Hayes, traded for him at the deadline last year. You also got Nick Lodolo and Hunter Green in the pitching staff, both of which are on the IL, but obviously getting both of those two back will be very nice for when the Reds get it. Plenty of talent. And without, like I said, I named some of those guys on the IL. Even without those guys, still at 20-11. Very good start. Very happy if you're a Cincinnati fan right now. Gotta love it. And then the Chicago Cubs at 20-12. This is a team that was expected to be good and has been what they expected to be. 20-12, very good team, very good offense. Got guys like PCA over there. Also, I didn't even realize they actually had a pretty good closer, but he actually was the closer for the Venezuela World Baseball Classic team, and Daniel Palencia. Might be coming back from the IL soon. They've had a lot of injuries in the bullpen. But overall, this is a very good Cubs team. I'm very interested in seeing where it goes for them. I mean, we saw them last year knock off the Padres in the wild card round, and then fell just short to the Milwaukee Brewers in that series in the NLDS, and then the Brewers got demolished by the Dodgers. But this is a good Cubs team. I'm very interested in seeing, how things go this year. What can happen come playoffs once again. Will they look a little bit better? We'll see. But definitely a very good baseball team. You're going to be seeing them more than likely in October. St. Louis Cardinals, definitely not one I saw here. 18-13. This is actually, I believe, I think I read they're playing the Tigers very early in the year. Don't quote me on this, but I believe, according to I think something because I was watching the Sunday Night Peacock game, I believe they said, and I'm pretty sure this is correct, the Cardinals are actually the youngest team in all of baseball. So I talk about all these teams having young guys. The Cardinals legitimately have young guys, and they've produced. I mean, you have Jordan Walker, a former big-time prospect, who has seemingly finally turned the corner and figured things out after a couple under uninteresting years. And top prospect JJ Weatherholt has also been very important for the Cardinals this year in that leadoff slot, been electric for them. Same like I said with Jordan Walker. Both of those two have been sensations so far for the Cardinals this year. Definitely, I'm sure what they were hoping for with both of those two. Pitching staff hasn't been great, but a good start. I mean, you're a young team. You're obviously just looking, get experience and have fun. But hey, if you can make a wild card run in the National League, why not? Let's do it. So good start. I mean, you got a bunch of high flying young guys. Why not go for it? So very exciting start for St. Louis Cardinal fans. I'm sure they're having a blast over there so far with how this season has started off. And then the Milwaukee Brewers, which is weird to find a team that has a plus 38 run differential in fourth place this early into the year, but that's where we're at. They sit at 16-14. Very good offense, very good pitching staff. It's just been a very good NL Central to start the year. Literally all the teams. I mean, even look at the team in the last place there. All these teams have been very good to start. Now, can things change down the road and some teams fall and some teams, go up? I mean, definitely possible. But this is a legitimately good division, so I think this is going to be a tough one for the Brewers. I mean, obviously the Cubs were right there with them all of last year. The Reds made a push for the wild card round. The Cardinals and we're going to talk about the Pirates in a minute. They both Cardinals are like I said, youngest team in baseball. The Pirates, of course, have Paul Skeens. They signed some. Well, I'll get to that. But the Brewers, good team. I mean, 16-14. You're not off to a horrible start, but you're not. You're off to a decent start, but you just. It seems worse than it is because the rest of the division has been wow good. But for the Brewers, yeah, you're in fourth, but you're also at 16-14. There's a lot of season left to go. There's a lot that can still change. And then you have the Pittsburgh Pirates who sit at 500, along with many other teams I've gone over already at 16-16. This is a very they've had a good start. Last 5 games have been rough for them. They have lost their last 5, but this is a good Pirates team. I actually think this is that this team could make an interesting move. They signed some vets in the offseason that are going to help out that offense a little bit, and they certainly have to start the year. They've all been very good thus far. And so, very impressive to see what the Pirates have done offensively. Like I said, they lost the last 5, but so I mean, you're at 16-11 at one point. It's been a good start. I don't think this is a terrible. Some of the results have shown it. It's been a rough stretch, but that happens to every team. Now, I will say there has been one game that's already been final today, which was the Cubs and the Diamondbacks. So Cubs won it, so Cubs would have been 19-12, and the Diamondbacks that we're about to go over here in a minute will have been 16-14. But so I missed one game that happened in May. Oh well. um, but that's it for the Central, and now let's go to the NL West. Starting with the well, everybody's favorite for the the World Series, the Dodgers. I mean, in 2011, they're uh, got one of the largest run differentials in baseball. I mean, they're an outstanding team. I mean, their pitching staff's been electric. Has been unbelievably good, and that's without having Edwin Diaz, who's on the IL. So I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, the Dodgers are to me. They've always been the best team in baseball. It's just a matter of that they ever put the talent together, and they have the past 2 years. So good luck. I don't think there's really a team better. I don't really know if there's a team that can beat them. I mean, obviously 11 teams have, but they've been beaten 11 times. But postseason, that's going to be the story. Um, we'll see when that comes. But the Dodgers' main competition, it seems, every year is always right on their heels and just never seems to pull through. I have legitimately compared these guys. I have honestly, I have dubbed these guys, the Buffalo Bills of the MLB, and as the San Diego Padres, mostly because they never can beat the Dodgers. If you're a Bills fan, I'm sorry. Padres can never beat the Dodgers, and the Bills can never seem to beat the Chiefs. So that's kind of where my comparison is going there. But the Padres are, another good team. Good, they have some good offensive pieces. Pitching staff has dealt with some injuries early on, but they have a very good pitching staff. I mean, Mason Miller, holy moly, he looks untouchable. I mean, when you're throwing fastballs at like 106 miles per hour, like, yeah, um, I think there's a reason that you're borderline untouchable when you're throwing the ball that hard. But his numbers are just, ludicrous to begin this year. And you just stare at him like, what in the world, man? It's been unbelievable for him to start the year. And like I said, starting pitching has also been very nice to start. So definitely what you're hoping for if you're a Padre fan. Then you have the Arizona Diamondbacks at 16-15. Would have been 16-14, close enough. Very similar to last year. The offense has kind of lagged a little bit more than I think they probably anticipated. But last year they had great offensive production. They just had zero pitching to complement it, and it seems like this year has been mostly not much different. Well, this is an Arizona team that if they can get some more consistent pitching on a consistent basis, I think you'll be seeing a better record for them. But This is an Arizona team that's looking to try and fix that pitching staff. They got Corbin Burns. I don't know when he's supposed to get back, but I mean he's had Tommy John surgery, and that's obviously hurt them. Um, so I mean they're looking for obviously some sort of restitution there to try and see if they can get something fixed in that regard. But you know hasn't really happened as of yet. Um, but still at 16 and 15, 4 games off first. I think you gotta be happy with that. And then the Colorado Rockies, I think you just gotta be happy you're not last place. They're at 14 and 18, which is actually already way better than they were a season ago. They're still not a good team, certainly by any means, but they've actually been respectable to start this year, and they came pretty close to being almost the worst team in MLB history a season ago. So I think, like I said, they're probably just content with not being the worst team in baseball, which was what they were trekking toward last year. They're already on a much better pace this year. Um, and then I think if you're a Giants fan, you have to be pretty disgusted by the fact you're actually worse than the Rockies. 13 and 18. Um, Offense, where are you? They actually, I think, have scored the least amount of runs in baseball to start the year, which is not a good look. Willie Adames has not panned out at all. Rafael Devers has been awful. Luis Arias doesn't really provide any power, and I think he's been hitting okay this year. I don't think he's hitting actually over 300, which that's basically been his normal number. But I don't think he's actually gotten there. Um, Pitching staff, Logan Webb has actually not been as good as usual. Um, I want him to be better. He's been better as of late, but still annoying. But not a great start for the Giants. I mean, they need offense. That pitching staff has honestly not been awful. I mean, could it be better? Yeah. I mean, sure. I mean, you can be like the Dodgers and give up barely 100 runs in a month, month and a half. Like, I mean, to me, for the Giants, it's just like you gotta get some offense going. The pitching staff has not been the issue. The pitching staff has been normal. I mean, they're right around pretty much everybody else in that regard. But your offense has been an absolute disaster, and there's been no really answer on the offensive end. Your hitting has been just totally non-existent. So if you're a Giants guy, Giants fan, for the Giants, it's just like, man, find a bat somewhere. Call someone off the street at this point. Like, I don't know. But that's all I got for you guys. That's all I got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll be seeing you next time around. I might be doing a NFL draft class review soon. I'll see. I might post that on the Instagram. I'm not really sure, but that could be coming up, obviously, amongst other things as well. But that's all I got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Until then, adios, everyone.